I'm going to take you through a quick tour through the PowerShot network shutdown software, which is currently installed in the FT server appliance, which will enable the communication between the UPS network management card and the FT server. This will allow when the UPS is running on battery or low on battery or lost power to communicate to the FT server and then shut down the FT server in an orderly manner in order to safekeep the virtual machines or any applications running on the virtual machine before a total power loss. Right, so first of all, we would log on to the PowerShot software. This software has now already been installed on the virtual machine or in the appliance. So if I just go to my VMware, it is installed in the appliance, and if we log on, you would actually see this name appearing in the PowerShot software. So let me just log on. On log on there, you can see it is exactly the same name because it has been already linked to the appliance running on the FT server, and that is how the communication will be executed. In the PowerShot software, there's a few things that you would be able to do under configure events. There's a whole bunch of things that you would be able to configure to be able to do certain actions. You can, for instance, if the UPS is running on battery, if I click on the little gear, you would be able to go and enable a command file or enable the setting so to be able to communicate to the FT server to shut down the software. So you can see in this case, if the UPS is running on battery, after a certain period of time, or if the battery system is low on the UPS, it will then shut down or issue a shutdown command to the FT server. So there's a whole bunch of other things that you can do. Input power restored, what happens when that is done, runtime exceeded or runtime is sufficient, or if the battery is discharged, maybe some of the lower ones, if maintenance is bypassed, or if we lose a communication to the UPS management card, what needs to happen? Do we need to keep the FT server running, or do we need to shut down the FT server? So you can really see there is a few things that you would be able to configure. If the UPS's temperature is overheating, what do you need to do? All right, if I want to configure the shutdown, I can click on it and I can enable the shutdown, and also I can put in a delay of how long it needs to take before it will issue the command or actually shut down the FT server. So now if I go down, you would see under the temperature, I have configured the shutdown command. Right, under the shutdown settings is what needs to happen. When PowerShot starts a shutdown sequence, it will use the settings below. Right, either do not turn off the UPS, or once the command has been issued and PowerShot software has been shut down, it will then turn off the UPS. You can also configure SSH settings if need be, or even SNMP settings if you require an SNMP connection. It supports SNMP v1 and SNMP v3, as well as the SNMP straps. Then in the communication, you can opt to have your protocol either encrypted or not encrypted. That's your choice. And then also the user credentials or security authentication between the management card and, of course, the PowerShot software running on the FT server. There's an option to check for updates, and then if I opt for PowerShot setup, it will actually take you through the connection to establish a communication link between the UPS management card as well as the PowerShot software that is installed on the FT server. So that has already been done, so I will not be able to go through that again. Right, and then under UPS configuration, there you can see that is the UPS management card that is being configured and is running and it's connecting, and what is being controlled from the management card. You have, as Kevin mentioned in the demo, that you have outlet groups on the UPS, which can then be turned on or off depending on how you configure it. In my case, the FT server is configured or is actually connected to the outlet group 1, and that is the outlet group that will be shut down once a shutdown command has been issued from the management card. Right, and if you have additional PowerShell agents, it will also be shown up in this session. That's very simple, really not much to it to be able to control it. The big thing is I'm going to execute, well, just pull the power on the UPS, and then you would notice what happens and with regards to the communication between the management card of the UPS and of course the FT server. Right, so I'm going, in this case, before I do unplug the card, I'm going to the FT server to actually show you that it is going to shut down the software. So let me just pull the power on the UPS. Right, maybe you've heard a few beeps, and that is that the UPS has now been pulled. If I actually show you the UPS itself, you can see on the little video screen on the corner that it is now running in a period of time whereby a shutdown command will then be issued to the FT server. So this takes a while because of course we have to allow the server to shut down. Here you can see the virtual machine has already shut down, start this demo, and then of course the FT server is then next, whereby it will take a minute or so to shut down. So the UPS will allow sufficient time for the server to shut down before it disables the outlet group. There you can see the management appliance has also shut down, and then of course the next the server will then shut down. During this time you can notice that there is a timing lapse that will be counted on the little display of the UPS, which will then count. I think the time is currently sitting at 180 seconds to allow sufficient time for the FT server to shut down, of course, and after that it will then automatically disable the UPS until the power is being restored on it. There you have noticed that the FT server has actually gone shut down. So if I go back to the picture, you can now notice that the FT server has been shut down. The UPS is still in a power loss state, and after a period of time it will then automatically shut down the UPS as well. As soon as the power are being restored, then everything will start automatically. The UPS, there's a delay time of course, but once the power is restored to the UPS and is running back on full power, the FT server will then automatically start up if you have configured it in such a way, but it will then start up, and then of course once that is started up, it will then automatically start up your virtual machines as well. So if I refresh the screen, you would see pretty much I've lost communication to the FT server. So that is really, in short, the capability of having the communication between the PowerShell software and the management card of the UPS to be able to shut down your applications and your environment in a very controlled state. Not doing that can really cause harm to your virtual environment or to your actual physical machines that's running on that UPS. So this is really a very great way of being able to have control over your whole data center, or your whole micro data center in this case, to be able to manage, control, and of course interface with what's going on within your data center. So you have full control over it, you have full monitoring capability of it, and that really empowers you to have a real unique IoT type of infrastructure and be able to know exactly what's going on inside your data center. Well, this concludes our demonstration of the APC micro data center with the FT server installed in it. I hope it was very insightful to you and that you have now a good overview or understanding of what we can offer you as a full-on solution. First of all, the FT server, by having an always-on solution, always available, protecting your system, protecting your applications. But then of course, behind that is the smart UPS that will also then keep the system running. protect the system, monitor the system as you saw in the demonstration with the monitoring the surroundings of it. So I really think between Stratos and APC, we can offer you a real good solution. If you have any questions or queries or any information that you would like from us, feel free to contact us. The information will be on the screen after this video. Get in contact with us and we can really assist you in providing you with a full-on micro data center solution to suit your needs. Thank you and goodbye.